Hey guys, I'm Matt the Woodshed Barber, and today we are going to be talking about Babyliss a little bit.
This is the barber shop, Cornerstone neighborhood.
So a few months back, back whenever they first released, Dennis was nice enough to send me the flat matte green set, which I have affectionately started calling it the Rambo edition.
They drew first blood, not me.
I don't know, it just seems very, very military, OD green type stuff. And look, I've done reviews on these exact tools, just different colors of those tools, like I did the blue edition with the grip. This is just a bigger way for me to expound on Babyliss a little bit, at least in my barber opinion. Babyliss is an interesting company. If you look over the span of barbering, they were the first company to kind of break through that big three mentality. We had Andis, Wall, Oster, and nobody could compete. Conair tried to. Forfex tried to. Ironically, both of those companies are what Babyliss is now. Conair owns Babyliss. Forfex was their first attempt into the barber world. If you don't know this, the FX part of Babyliss, the Babyliss FX, the FX stands for Forfex. Didn't know if you knew that, but I didn't know that until Dennis told me. But I've gotten to know Dennis a little bit. We haven't talked to him a little bit, but he's a super nice guy, very down to earth, really loves the business. And, I have respect for a guy who's done what he's done and being a barber all along. Not a whole lot of clipper company creators or barbers. But on this chance, he happened to be. And, the way that they have approached entering the game was different. They wanted to make a couple mainstays that would be long lasting, kind of like with what Andis did with the T outliner and the Master, or Wall with the Senior. And, their most legendary trimmer to me is the Detailer, but it's not like that's a very old tool. But, the 76 for Oster, they have these iconic, classic tools. And, Dennis had told me that, that their mentality was they wanted to make a tool that was ubiquitous, that lasted and made an impact on the business. And I can definitely think that we can all agree the Gold FX trimmer was absolutely that. That's, to me, what put them in prominence. Like, I tried some of the earlier Babyliss stuff that was, I think it was the FX 778 or 788. I forget what it was called. But it was pretty much the FX clipper corded. And I wasn't really impressed with it. I did not like it. But if I would to liken Babyliss in the barber industry to car companies, or maybe let's just say trucks. Let's go with trucks. Babyliss to me is Toyota. Right now companies like Stylecraft, they're kind of like Tesla or Rivian or whatever. They're doing stuff really different, and production different, mentality different, focused more on battery and everything else. But I look at Babyliss and I think Toyota. And I think that for a couple reasons, so let me expound. They've got a look, and they don't vary or differ very much from that look. And they have expectations. They stay within those expectations. They don't take big risks. And I'm not saying that as a diss. I'm actually saying it as just kind of, it seems like who they are. For instance, I've got every Babyliss tool I have in front of me right now, with the exception of my my gray FX1 Low Pro. Whenever I show you the 6 different FX clippers I've got, some of them were influencer editions. One of them was the silver FX that I just painted into the Woodshed Barber FX, I guess. I like that blue a whole lot. And then the other ones are the FX1s. And the only real difference is, as far as styling goes, is the colorway. Makes me think of kind of Toyota. They stay really consistent and on brand, but they don't really differ a whole lot. They don't take these big risks. They rely on their reliability and the fact that whenever you pick up a Babyliss trimmer, whether it's the little lithium FX or the FX3, a longtime favorite of mine, the Low Pro, or the standard FX1 edition, I guess, they all feel the same. The blades feel the same. And the blades, for the most part, except for the FX3, are interchangeable. And so they've created a very small, controllable ecosystem, which may be the only thing that's hindering them. And I'll say this. I was extremely critical of the FX1 whenever they first announced it. You know, I tend to play devil's advocate with stuff. And like, if somebody thinks that something won't work, well, let me tell you why it will. Or if they think it will work, let me tell you why it may not. You know, that's just my mentality. And I came out with 2 videos just really expounding on the FX1 idea. And that's actually whenever Dennis contacted me. We chatted a little bit, and you know, he was very open to criticism, understood my concerns, but you know, he said, you know, give us a shot, let me show you. And so they sent me some FX1 stuff, and it's good stuff, guys. I mean, it's what we expect. It is Babyliss high quality tools. I mean, in all reality, with the exception of maybe the first edition of the Low Pro, I wasn't too impressed with that. Of course, they changed it. They saw what the problems were, and they changed it. With the exception of that, I mean, they keep on knocking it out of the park. Now, I've never been big on their FX2 and FX3 clippers, the ones with the little slides on them. I don't like those kind of tools, so I didn't even bother. But the FX3 shaver was a long time like mainstay for me until I got the UV shavers, and those are now my favorite shavers. And FX just makes great, powerful shavers. Not good on the finesse part. They are very aggressive, very strong shavers. But regardless, I do feel like the thing that's holding them back is their ecosystem. The FX1 is a great idea. It is a marvelous idea. Kind of like with Toyota. They're the first ones to do the whole, you know, Prius thing, the whole hybrid thing. And they thought outside the box. Instead of having a full-size truck with a V8, they decided to do a V6 turbocharged, you know, hybrid edition. So I mean, that's what reminds me of Babyliss, is the fact that they are very much on that mentality of, let's not change the designs. The designs are solid, the designs are good. Let's make it an ecosystem. But the problem with that is this ecosystem is expensive. And as much as I do like the ability to not worry about if I run out of battery, I mean, it's pop one out, pop another one in. The only thing is, and this may sound harsh, success at that level, after a while, can feel boring. It doesn't feel sexy anymore. You know, as much as I love the Tundra truck, and they look tough, and they've always had that good look to them, they don't always appeal as like, oh man, that's just bad, that's tough. That's just, I mean, the Ram has outlooked them a lot. You know, and sorry to talk about trucks, but this is just a good analogy. And then you got Stylecraft coming out with the Sabre 2 that's kind of like the Cybertruck. And it's like, man, look, it may not be the most reliable thing. It just may not be what you like, but let's give them credit. It's different and it's sexy. With that, like, Babyliss to me just seems like they like to play it safe, but they're so good at that. I'll give you another analogy. I'm a big college football fan. I'm in the Southeast, where college football reigns supreme. I grew up this way. I didn't join the pack later, but I grew up an Alabama fan. And I'm gonna liken Babyliss to kind of being like Alabama. Whenever you win so much, and you do so much at a high level, it gets kind of boring. The expectations are so high, and to maintain that, you have to have that high quality of play anyway. But if you start to shake stuff up, you may lose. But shaking stuff up can be sexy. And so with Babyliss, I love the new color waves that they keep on coming out with. You know, that new sand one and the flat black for the low pro. The only way I can call it is the Sean Cuts hair green. That looks like clutch green, absolutely. I'm glad that they kind of have that there for him. But it's just, I don't know what it is. They've got good looking tools. I'm not saying they don't have sexy tools, they do. But is it just me, or am I kind of just wanting something different from them? I want something new. And maybe that's just my consumerism. Barbering has a big problem with that right now. But I don't know. I kind of just want something new. So that's one reason that whenever he sent me the Lithium FX, the blackout edition that had the blue blades on it, that's one reason I liked it so much, is it felt different. It felt new. That stretch on that wedge blade on this clipper is wonderful, and it felt fresh. And even though the Low Pro is not that old of a design, it's been out for like, what, 2 years, if that, it just doesn't feel new. It doesn't feel as fresh. And so maybe it's just me. I'm not saying I'm stagnant on Babyliss. I love what they do, what they create. This is just me thinking out loud on the internet, probably pulling a Trump here with this, but you know, they're good tools. They're very good tools. Everybody agrees they're great tools. So I want to hear what you guys have to say about this, because, you know, it can't just be me, right? I mean, I love Babyliss. I do. I have, gosh, tons of their stuff here. And all of them work good. They're all great tools. It feels like something is a little boring right now. I don't know. You know, it's maybe it's just in my head. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please click that like button, subscribe, share this with your barber friends. Let's get this community growing. Let's keep those comments humble and kind, and as always, I'll check you guys in the next one.